Seeking life on other planets and finding habitability of a planet has always been an interest of many researchers and scientists. Now, it has also become the goal of some billionaires to start the space colonization. In our solar system, none of the planets has an environment like Earth's. Mars is a neighboring planet, and the possibility of life on Mars is a subject of huge interest in astrobiology due to its proximity and similarities to Earth. Well, one might think how space colonization will happen and why Mars? At an average distance of 140 million miles, Mars is one of Earth's closest habitable neighbors. Mars has a day length of 24 hours and 37 minutes. On top of that, the gravity of Mars' surface is much lower than it is here on Earth. A person who weighs 100 kilograms on Earth would weigh only 38 kgs on Mars. So you don't worry if your weight is too much. It's just that you don't belong here. Prepare, we're leaving for Mars!
Let's do this!
Mars is about half again as far from the sun as Earth is, so it still has decent sunlight. It is a little cold. You should better take your warm clothes with you. Its atmosphere is primarily CO2 with some nitrogen and argon and a few other trace elements, which means that we can grow plants on Mars just by compressing the atmosphere. Mars has two moons, Phobos and Deimos. They're more like asteroids rather than our Earth's moon. Both are tiny. The larger Phobos is only 14 miles across, while the smaller is only 8 miles, making him some of the smallest moons in the solar system. It will take us about 6 months to get to Mars. According to SpaceX, Starship will be the world's most powerful launch vehicle ever developed, with the ability to carry in excess of 100 metric tons to Earth's orbit. Together, the Starship spacecraft and the Super Heavy rocket create a reusable transportation system that is capable of on-orbit refilling and leverages Mars' natural H2O and CO2 resources to refuel on the surface of Mars. The primary cost is that of the propellant, and the cost of oxygen and methane would be extremely low. The landing on Mars would be panicky. Starship will enter Mars' atmosphere at 7.5 kilometers per second and decelerate aerodynamically. The vehicle's heat shield is designed to withstand multiple entries, but given that the vehicle is coming into Mars' atmosphere so hot, there may be some wear and tear. Now that we're landing, would we have houses there? Although there are some extremophile organisms that survive on hostile conditions on Earth, including simulations that approximate Mars, plants and animals generally cannot survive the ambient conditions present on the surface of Mars. The atmospheric pressure on Mars is far below the Armstrong limit at which people can survive without pressure suits. Since terraforming cannot be expected as a near-term solution, habitable structures on Mars would need to be constructed with pressure vessels similar to spacecraft, capable of containing a pressure between 30 to 100 kilopascals. Surface gravity of Mars is 38% of that of Earth. Although microgravity is known to cause health problems such as muscle loss and bone demineralization, it is not known if Martian gravity would have the same effect. The Martian atmosphere is toxic: 95% carbon dioxide, 3% nitrogen, 1.6% argon, and traces of other gases including oxygen totaling less than 0.4%. So we'll need permanent habitats that have the potential for self-expansion and self-sustenance. Human survival on Mars would require living in artificial Mars habitats with complex life support systems. SpaceX have proposed the developmental of Mars transportation infrastructure in order to facilitate the eventual colonization of Mars. So are you ready to leave Earth? Let us be an alien on Mars. Well, Dr. Alice Silver says we are aliens and we're not from Earth. Now that is another story of why.